All right, I wanted to talk about the Forge Pass because the Forge Pass season started today. Feels like it runs for a month and it's off for about 2 weeks and then it comes back. And with every Forge Pass season, there's a theme of a certain type of gear. This one that's running right now is the Instinct set, which is a 4-piece set, gives 12% speed, and it ignores 20% of enemy defense. I'm going to talk about what this does and how it works and the way that I view artifacts and the way that artifacts help me get through the game to get from, let's say, early game. And I believe I'm right now in some sort of mid game, definitely nowhere near end game at all, but mid game, let's say. And I got to say that at first, when I started getting artifacts, it was definitely about the individual stats more than the sets. And now where I am, I'm finding that it's still hard to use the 4 pieces. Like this is a 4-piece set, but I'm getting a lot of use out of 2-piece sets, specifically Perception, which I get from the Forge. And I only forge during clan versus clan because that's where you get the extra bonuses. But this stuff that I'm talking about, this Perception set, is coming from the Faction Wars. So it took a while to get the Faction Wars up and running, but once I did, I feel like Perception really launched my account into the next level. So we're going to talk about whether or not this Forge Pass is worth it, what other things I would consider. Now, if you haven't done so already, there's a link in the description to download Raid Shadow Legends. It does help support this channel, or you can scan the QR code and you're going to get a legendary character right out of the gate, Karuto, which is amazing. I didn't have a character like Karuto right out of the gate. Then after 15, you get Ugo, one of the best epics in the game. I've been working on Ugo myself. Really good character, one of the best epics. More importantly than that is then with the first 24 hours, go in right here and enter the promo code Monkey King. And with that, you will get Sun Wukong. And Sun Wukong has proved to probably be the most impactful character I've had since starting the game. Arena, campaign farming, a Hydra, very useful. Definitely a glass cannon. But I'm a fan. And then lastly, I don't know how much longer this is going to last, but if you log in for 7 days, you can get Alice the Wanderer Legendary. This is my highest power in the character in the game. So 3 legendaries and 1 epic. Now let's just talk about what I would buy before I would consider the Forge Pass. And for me, that would be the daily gem pack. You can see that I'm coming towards the end of it. This is where I would start. And for me, I believe there's about 2,100 gems for $10. And I think that is the best place to start from what I can see as far as deals in Raid Shadow Legends. From there, I'm going to say it's the Forge Pass. And the Forge Pass does have a rotating gear set, like this one here is Instinct. And a lot of people will say that the materials on the gold track, which costs $20 US, I'm ahead of it, I'm in front of it. I'm going to buy that here today, right now. The materials are worth it alone. Now, I do want to say that there are other sets that I like better than the Instinct because I found for me where I'm in the game right now, it's hard to get a lot of value out of the 4-piece because individual stats seem to be more important, and just working around a 4 set is challenging. And I've barely moved into a position where I can do a lot of 2-piece sets. And so this one is not my favorite. Also, there's another gear piece set that can be farmed in the Doom Tower from Faye that is more desirable in my opinion. But on an individual basis, these pieces of gear were important specifically so that I could start getting better gear. And the places that I'm currently getting better gear from is going to be Faction Wars. And Faction Wars is really important for getting Perception gear. And Perception gear, which is speed and accuracy, and overall, that's just a great place to start with. Such a high percentage characters in this game are without a doubt tied to perception and speed. I gotta say those two particular stats in particular are over the top, and you can see that, you know, I've been moving along, you know, and some of these are right here. I'm getting good return, and also this is where I'm getting the better glyphs, but I really wasn't making a lot of progress there or in the dungeons, because this is where, you know, I can go crazy, let's say in Dragon's Lair, and get the probably one of the best starter sets without a doubt, which is just a 2-piece speed set. But, you know, I wasn't be able to go to hard to 10. You know, there's a normal and the hard until recently. And what kind of launched me into being in a position where I could actually get better gear was the Forge Pass. The Forge Pass also did a lot of other things. You know, it gave the boost right there, the experience boost, which now is turned on. You can see right there, Forge Pass, get 10% experience and silver from all battles. And then this ramps up over the 4-week rather, period. Now, I do not worry about these weekly challenges. I will come in here and do my best to collect the dailies, but the weeklies carry over from week to week. So like I may finish some of them right here in week 1, week 2, week 3 on accident, like without even deliberately trying. Like I'm going to look at these ones right here. It says place 100 debuffs on dungeon bosses while beating them. All right, well, I already got that. I didn't have to do anything like that. This one's just going to happen automatically. And it doesn't have to happen in the first week. It can happen, it carries over from week to week. Like I don't have to finish any of this stuff until later. There's no urgency on this. Now, the daily challenges is different. Like, so I do need to focus on this today. See, I got 7 hours and 21 minutes. I'm going to finish these. So I will treat these like my daily quests. You know, when I start the game for the day, I go through my daily quests. I pretty much can ignore my weekly and monthly because they seem to just happen on their own. And then I focus on the advanced. Daily, advanced expire on a daily basis. So I try to complete them first as a top priority. And then the same thing is true on the daily challenges here on the Forge Pass. And for me, these weekly challenges seem to happen on their own, and I don't need to finish them in the 1 week. I actually have several weeks to do them, in the same way that I'm finding that these weekly and monthly challenges just seem to take care of themselves through normal gameplay. And I'm finding that the rewards are very good in the Forge Pass. I believe I should be able to get about 100 pieces of instinct gear, which I will use in the Forge. I only do this during clan versus clan now. So clan versus clan happens, I want to say every other week. So once every 2 weeks. And there's two different types of clan versus clans. There's the one that has personal rewards and the one that does not. And so this is generalities. They always change it up a little bit. But what I'm seeing is that one week will be the normal clan versus clan, and then every other one will be like once a month will be the one that has the personal rewards. And so I'm letting all of this stockpile right here. So this is going to be items that I acquire from faction wars using the crypt keys. It's all going to pile into here. And then also anything I get from the Forge Pass will go in here. And at some point, I'm finding that I'm only doing the 3s and 4s and the 5s and 6s, because really I'm only looking for the 5s and 6s. And there's no overlap in the materials in the 3 and 4 and the 5 and 6s. Now, you, depending on your circumstances, you might need to do 4 or 5s, but the pieces overlap. The pieces that are required to do the 4 and 5s are also required on the 5 and 6s. So at this point, I'm only doing 3s and 4s and 5s and 6s. And that is when the clan versus clan is running. I'm not typically opening any of these unless it's required for a quest of some kind. Like if it says forge 1 perception piece today, or use a charm or something like that. But I'm just not doing that until clan versus clan, because I got to get the points. I want to help my alliance and do that. So that is the main thing about the the Forge Pass is tons of great gear. Unfortunately, this set, although useful, I think this is not the most useful set, but just for the sake of the individual pieces, the last time that the Instinct set ran through, I still got value from the pieces on an individual basis. But the one set that I'm really excited about when it comes back, and I've only seen it come in the Forge Pass twice in the 7-8 months I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends, was the Slayer 9-piece set. That is of high interest and is super exciting, and I love that set. I put it on Sun Wukong, and he has just smashing people. Also worth noting, there's some pinpoint accessories right here, which I think are very good. The thing about accessories that belong to 9-piece sets like pinpoint, you can put one piece and it fulfills, 1 of 9, which on pinpoint is 20 accuracy, and accuracy is also very important. It's not as good as Feral. Feral will give 40, but pinpoint gives 20 accuracy. And so I am finding that just throwing a single, piece of accessory, which is going to be like the ring, the amulet, or the banner, it's okay to not have sets, because typically there's no sets down there anyways. It's just like Shadowkin or Barbarian, but throwing a single piece of pinpoint is like 20 accuracy. It's like an extra stat that is not there on a normal, just like a Shadow King piece, which I would get normally from the Spider Den. So I do think this is like the second best value in the game. For me, I like the Forge Pass even more when it has a set that I'm more interested in Instinct. I'm not saying Instinct is like terrible. I'm just finding the 4-piece sets for me to be somewhat hard to use. And right now, I'm getting really good use out of 2-piece sets. And maybe as I get more pieces of gear and I have a bigger diversity of good pieces, maybe the 4 pieces will come into play. But right now, where I'm playing the game, I'm not seeing that. All right, if you haven't done so already, there is a link in the description to download Raid Shadow Legends. You're going to get legendary Karuto and then Ugo at level 15, which only takes about a day. And then in the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends, promo code Monkey King, one word, to get Sun Wukong. Now on iOS, you'll have to go to the Plarium website to do that. I don't believe you can do that in game. And then lastly, logging in for 7 days, you get Alice the Wanderer. All right, bye for now.